Welcome to the special meeting of the board. It is May 11th, as I said before, 2026, and this is a special meeting of the Board of the School Directors. This meeting is also being held via Zoom webinar, live stream, and is being video recorded with sound for public broadcasts. Audience recognition will be taken regarding agenda topics. There's only one topic tonight for this special meeting, and will be limited to 3 minutes per resident. All participating joining via webinar who wish to comment will need to use the chat feature, which will be enabled during that audience recognition time. The board believes it's in the best interest of the board, the district, and the students for us to hear the voice of the taxpayers of this district, and please make sure that your voice is heard from district residents and taxpayers, and the opportunity will be given later in the meeting for public comment. This meeting is a special meeting of the board, but it is a business board meeting. So that means for committee meetings, we have more opportunities for dialogue. For business board meetings, it is just a public comment with not a lot of back and forth. This is a tight meeting, so we're gonna try to keep commentary tight. A lot of the discussion that you will see going on tonight will be amongst board members. So for some of our board members that aren't on the committee that is working on this project, which is the conversation around the two football teams, some of the information is going to be more elaborate for them tonight. So we're going to make sure everybody's on the same page. The conversation at the table is what to do with the two football teams, to keep them two football teams, to co-opt the two football teams, cooperation, keeping them, putting them together, or to merge those two football teams. There's a lot of different ways to do a special meeting of the board. We can have a full discussion first. We could go to a vote. We could go to a vote. We could not have a vote whatsoever. We could go to a vote and then have a discussion. Lots of different ways. So there's some options here on the table. I'm going to see if one of my board members would like to step in here.
Good evening. I would like to motion that we add an item to the agenda to pursue forming a cooperative for football for Harriton and Lower Merion in the 26-27 school year, and also that administration would implement for the 26-27 school year if PIAA approved the application for a cooperative.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I second.
So you're putting the vote on. This is just a vote on whether
just to
you're putting it
clarify
on,
for
not
everybody,
actually voting.
this is just, because there's an agenda for this meeting. This is just to add this to this agenda for this meeting. There's some wonky rules around these meetings, so everybody bear with us. So there's a second. Now we go for, is there any discussion amongst the board around adding this to the meeting? I take it as a no. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Abstention? Okay, motion passes. Now it is on the table for discussion. What's next, Amy? Help me here. We can.
Now you can make your motion to actually, you need to have a motion to have the motion on the table so that you can have a discussion following the second of that motion.
Great, so we can dive into the discussion.
First, you're moving for the item. So now you're actually moving the item, not just moving it as an agenda item. Do you understand?
Yeah. So we can have a discussion,
Yes.
right?
You have to make the motion first.
I move to have
for
a
the vote.
discussion on the agenda item proposed for this evening.
Wonderful. Do I have a second?
I second.
Second.
Thank you, Sarah. And I'm going to say yes for any discussion.
Now discussion.
Okay. Now we're going to dive into discussion. So we have a lot to discuss on this, and before we take a vote on this discussion, we will also be opening it to public comment. So do not worry. Before we will take any vote on this, we will be hearing from the public, and that will give everybody a chance as well. I want to take 2 beats on this before we dive into it and just give a little bit of commentary from this. This has been a project that we have been working on as a board for over 7 months, and 2 beats on it really quickly. There has been an unbelievable amount of work on this from the board side, from the community side, from the staff side, and really from the student side as well. So as much as this has been extremely emotional for a lot of people, it has been a shining star of how our coaches, our teachers, our parents, our school leadership has come together to do so much unbelievable learning. And that work started with a problem where our students and our coaches and our parents and our teachers and our staff saw that our students really wanted to work together more, had a lack of an ability to move their teams forward in a way that was historically something that was really powerful, and there was a gap. Kids not signing up for a program that had been historically really powerful. But also at the same time that there was a logistical, it was a legal issues going on around it. There was a lot of safety issues going on around it. And there was a huge drive from the community and from the students to move it forward and move it forward fast. And we understand that. But I used to have a boss that said all the time, you can't do things, what is it, fast, cheap, and good. You have to slow things down. Sometimes you have to go fast. I mean, you have to go slow to do good. And we slowed things down. And there was a lot of people that were upset about it. That was something that our superintendent told us over and over again. We can't go fast sometimes and not make mistakes. And Dr. Rinelli, that was really hard, and you were brand new, and it's hard to do the right things when you're brand new because you just want to start to build those bonds of trust. But sometimes the best way you do trust is by doing things right. We had to go through an amazing amount of legal review to make sure that we could build out the policies and build out the safety guidelines in the right way. And your staff, your safety, your school staff, your athletic staff, coach, you're making sure our kids stay safe, and you're doing that in a way that holds them back from doing the great program that they're doing, and you're keeping them safe by holding back the program, and we understand that. And some of the things that our board members, Juanita and Jen, did really well would dig into the community and understood that intrinsically. So when you shared that in the last meeting and the students shared that, we heard that from the community as well. The work that Todd did, that Anna did, forgot your name for a hot second, that Anna did to make sure that we could look through the policy, that work is going to continue. The work that the policy team has done to really think through, how can we make sure that the policy will be sound? It started 6 months ago. It's a really great meeting, by the way. It started 6-7 months ago. It's going to keep going. This is not going to stop. So even though it felt like we might, we're taking a really long time, we still have a ton more work to do. And that's going to keep going. But we want to make sure that we're doing it right and we're taking it slow. Because our job is to make sure that the kids stay safe and that the school stays safe. And that's something Dr. Rinelli shared last, 2 weeks ago? It feels like it was a hot second ago, but it was 2 weeks ago in that meeting. His job is to make sure our kids stay safe, and his job is to make sure that our schools stay safe, and that we are able to continuously support and make sure our schools give what they can give all the time and protect it. We have a fiduciary responsibility to these kids and our schools, as well as keeping them in the best programs we can possibly do. We're juggling a lot of balls here, and he is juggling an entire institution with his team and doing all of this at the same time. And the thing that you've said over and over again is, I do not want to make a mistake in a new system that I can't take back. And that's honorable, and we thank you. We're also looking around the table at 9 people that are a part of this community, and we know sometimes we have to take that burden for you and do that as well. So this is why we're a team of 10 and not just one person carrying all the load. So we work as a team of 10 to do this. And at this point in time, the board does the work and hands it over to policy and makes sure that the leaders of policy can take this work and move it forward. So I'm going to turn it over to Anna now, who's been working with the rest of the policy team, step back and is one of the members of policy, and let Juanita and Jen take it from there. And Jason and I, Jason's somewhere here, probably, in the air, on the phone. And Jason and I sit back as the other members of policy and do our work as other members of policy. Anna?
Yeah.
Not 3 minutes, I'm sorry.
Thanks so much. So just as Curry named, I just want to dig in a little bit deeper and give context for the different things that we had to dig into to make sure we're on the same page. So student safety, equity and access, legal compliance, student identity and belonging, Title IX implications, operational sustainability, PIAA and district requirements, and then precedent-setting implications for future extracurricular decisions, as well as board governance and administrative review. And so, as President Sautner referenced, the steps that the district took in terms of Frank and his team, Dr. Ranelli and his team really set us up to be able to analyze those, while at the same time parallel looking into different paths and understanding what would be the path forward to form a cooperative. Ultimately, we recognize that by proceeding without that policy alignment and formal review and operational modeling, as well as legal analysis and educational justification and transparency, that could really expose the district to avoidable governance and legal and procedural risk. And so really that analysis reinforced in policy why we had to take time to look at what we need to do into the future, and also illuminated that while we haven't officially changed those future policies, we can move forward in motioning to apply to the PIAA for a cooperative without having those policies in place. And in order to apply for that, the board has to have a majority vote that we want to do that. And so that's why the rush meeting tonight, rushed in terms of this isn't a regular business board meeting, but now it is. And so with that, if we do move forward in approving this motion that I put on the agenda for this evening, there will be a lot of work down the road. All of the details of that work are not figured out. So questions of how this will operationalize all the way down to tryouts, everything else, is we're not at a place to answer that. And quite frankly, as Curry said, with the team of 10, it's a really positive thing that in the district we can get to a place to work in partnership with our superintendent, that even if we don't necessarily have the same recommendation, we can move forward together towards an aligned path. And so what I just ask is, after the vote, if it does go to a yes, to couch comments and things like that accordingly, because we don't have all the details. Step one is really getting the PIAA approval. My recommendation would be to move forward, to my fellow board members, to move forward now without putting parameters around numbers and things like that that we heard from parents at the meeting, because to build in students and community members, because they have a long-term sustainable program in Lower Merion. Forming a cooperative, which is a 2-year approval, gives us a chance to really set up for long-term results in our community in a way that could really make a difference, versus having a bunch of protocols and different measures that would not allow us to implement that as clearly. So if there are other questions for the work the policy committee did, I'm happy to answer, or have Juanita or Jason or Curry weigh in. But that was the proposed path forward based on our analysis from the different inputs that we outlined.
We also have a 6 o'clock curriculum meeting, just saying. Any other discussion from the board?
Can I just have somebody who was on the committee for the veneration of the whole board and for the community give like a quick overview of what a co-op entails and how, like, at which school it would function, just like a 3-sentence what a co-op would be?
Shane, how you didn't follow my direction, so we wouldn't have all the detail. I'm just joking. I cannot answer to you what school it would be. What a cooperative is it is legal language within PIAA rule books in Coach District 1, right? And District 1 approvals that allow 2 teams to apply to District 1 and to PIAA to basically combine teams for a 2-year period. During that time, in terms of where we practice, the coaching staff, all of those implications are things that we have to figure out with guardrails and procedures. But step one to even move forward in applying for a cooperative is to have a majority board approval to do so.
Perfect. That was the definition I needed, that 1 sentence for clarity.
Yep.
Thank you.
No problem.
Any other discussion? Okay, now we're going to call, oh, Sarah, one quick question.
Difference between co-op versus merger.
There is not a, in my understanding of the PIAA rules, there's not actually a legal process for a merger of teams. Cooperative is the language that is used by the PIAA to apply for these sorts of circumstances and opportunities. I will just name, even if the board applies for a cooperative, it doesn't mean that the PIAA will approve it, nor that it would be approved again in the future. And so that was a lot of the policy implications, not only for football, but for other teams, because the language is in place to not create super teams and other such things to disadvantage certain schools and communities.
And this has been a huge battle in the state legislation across the entire Pennsylvania. We're great on a Quizzo team now. Any other discussion? Great. Okay, now we'll go to public comment.
We have two individuals, Thomas Burke and Joe Augustine.
Thomas, come on up. Just remember, 3 minutes or less.
Very quick, yeah.
Encourage or less, and just let us know what part of the neighborhood you're from.
Sure, absolutely. Thank you for the board for the opportunity. I'll be as quick as possible, and I appreciate all the hard work that you've done. We were here back in the fall. My name's Tom Burke. I live in Lower Merion. My son is a graduating senior, Tommy Burke. He was here and spoke last time during the previous board meeting. He's actually not able to be here tonight, neither is Nick DeLuca, because they are at the All-Star program, begins this evening. Today, I think, is the photo day, and then they have practice for the next 3 weeks, and they play in the Hero Bowl in like 3 Thursdays from now down in, where's it going to be, Hawk? Cardinal O'Hara High School. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of a personal perspective on the program. I hope that the board will vote yes on this effort. Tommy started 4 years ago as a freshman, and he had the opportunity to play as a freshman. Started all, his 10 games or 8 games, I guess they played as a freshman. It was a great developmental experience. He played as both a JV and varsity player as a sophomore, and then played again as a varsity player as a junior and a senior. He's had a great deal of success, culminating in the whole recruitment program for the last 8 months of going to Ivy schools and high Division IIIs. So we're very happy to announce he's actually going to play at Case Western Reserve University football this fall. And I really believe the football program actually helps a lot for many of the students getting the opportunity to play, particularly at a high academic school that maybe, is very challenging to get into many of these programs today, just as a student, or as, what do they call it, a NARF, non-athlete regular people, I think is the joke that the kids use today. So I think this little edges help you, be more competitive on the process of admissions, and this certainly helped with him, and it helped with several other kids on the team. I think we have 3 or 4 kids that are going to go play college ball next year just on the LM team. But the critical point I do want to make tonight real quick is about player development and safety. And I gave you a little bit of his background because he had that opportunity as a freshman to play against peers, his freshman peers across the Central League. As a sophomore, he played a little bit of JV, but immediately got elevated to the varsity program and I think started in 3 or 4 games due to injury of other varsity players. So he was constantly playing football, but moved up through his peers, his appropriateness of development. We do not have that available to the teams this year. We did not play a freshman schedule this year. We did not play a full JV schedule. I think both teams canceled their freshman programs, and both teams played in an extremely abbreviated JV program.
You have 30 seconds.
Yeah, 30 seconds. So I'll leave this. Hopefully you've all seen the program. The problem is we have 8 seniors and we have 8 juniors that play varsity football this year. And it simply isn't enough for player development to ask freshmen and sophomores to, sit on the sideline and then occasionally get maybe in on one varsity game against 18-year-old men from the rest of the Central League when you're 15 years old and you've never played in a football game before. So I hope that this will be the best thing for the program, and I look forward to a yes vote.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And Vic, I'm going to need you to cut that down. It doesn't have to be that long on a short meeting. Yeah, you're killing me here, Vic. You're killing me. Go ahead, Coach. And you're going to be cut 3 minutes, too.
No problem. My name is Joe Augustine. I am the head football coach currently at Lower Merion High School.
Please state where you reside. General City.
I live in Belmont Hills. I was a graduate of Harriton High School, played football for 4 years there, was lucky enough to get myself onto a roster in college of a school that I probably would not even have heard of if they had not come and recruited me. And it was the best experience of my life. There are 1,001 things that everyone here on the board has to consider, and I deeply appreciate you going through and doing all of those. I have to consider about 9, so our numbers are a little different. But ultimately, the question is, I want you to think of the why, and I want you to keep that foremost and in front of your head. Why do we need to do this? And yes, as a coach, I am in favor of it, okay? And I could talk about, you know, the great numbers and the wins on the field and all that other stuff, but that part doesn't really matter, right? What are we able to teach our kids, and what am I able to help instruct and help develop and grow this room full of young men without a positive and impactful program? Now, we do a pretty darn good job now, I will say. Our team GPA is 3.6. When I took over, it was 2.84. We have continuously gotten kids into higher education who, if you probably would have talked to them as freshmen, they had no idea what they were going to do after graduation. So why is it important? Because this game teaches these young men more things about life than anything else. It teaches delayed gratification. No other area in their life will they have to work for 5 to 7 days and get 1 day of fun. Now, we all know that here as adults. We work all week and hope for Saturday for nice weather, right? They're the same way, and it teaches them that now in high school. It teaches them that there are opportunities there for you if you work hard. Football is the only game that has 88 opportunities to play during a game. 88 opportunities with the ability to be able to impact
You have 1 minute.
a whole community and give them that sense of accomplishment that, hey, I'm on the kickoff team. I'm on the kick return team. That will mean the world to kids who might otherwise not get that opportunity. So please, good luck with the vote. I am pulling for it. But again, there are a million things to figure out. And when the why is big enough, those parts can be figured out. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all for in-person comments. Just for the record, Mr. Burke resides in Marion Station.
He knows your address better than you do, sir.
There's no comments in the chat.
No comments online? Okay, great. So can we take the vote? Yeah, okay, Todd says yes, okay. Okay. We don't have to motion, we're ready for the vote. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought, okay. We've already had discussion, so everybody's good? Okay, I was happy, you made me nervous there, okay. You're all ready to go, okay. We're all done discussion, all in favor? Aye. Aye. Any opposed? Abstentions? 100% motion passes. Yay. Do we need to do sunshine or anything?
You have to adjourn the meeting.
Okay, yay. And so with that, a meeting is adjourned. Motion to adjourn. Motion to adjourn. Thank you.
Thank you.